If you're tired of what you're doing or you're not making enough money, it is simply a case of changing the formula via which you make money. Do you agree or disagree? I am working in a class on life skills, and one of the main life skills that we work on is financial literacy, financial understanding, financial intelligence. And so this is one of the discussion questions that we have. It's, do you understand this quote? And then discuss the quote. So the first thing you're supposed to do is understand and talk about the question. So I'm going to ask you to think about this question, comment in below, respond to this. Video would be great, or chat's fine too. I'm going to read it again. It says, if you are tired of what you are doing or you're not making enough money, it's simply a case of changing the formula via the way you make money. So, and as I'm thinking about the question, so just think about the question. Don't answer it yet. Just think about the question or think about the quote. So the quote's saying, am I making the kind of money I want right now? Or would I be happy if I made more money? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, of course. Yeah, of course. No, always. It's kind of the answer. But sometimes I wonder if eventually, I know I'm okay with the amount of money I'm making. I've got plenty in the bank. I've got plenty. My house is paid off. Now, these things aren't true yet for me, but they will be. But so you got to think, okay, is there an amount of money that I'd be okay with? So that's kind of what the question's asking. And if you're not there yet, why? And let's change that. So do you believe that it's possible to reach the amount of money that you want? So we talk about this with our kids, and I make them think about these things. So now the goal is, now that you've thought about the question, what you're supposed to do now is think about your answer personally, and then be ready to discuss it. So now I'm asking you the question. If you're not making the kind of money you want right now, if you don't have the kind of money you want right now, then what formulas would you need to change? What are the things that you're doing right now to bring money into your life? So as a student, I would answer this question and I would discuss with people and say, well, to me, it seems like, and I'm talking to you right now, either my students or other teachers like me, if you're not making the kind of money, if I'm not making the kind of money I want to, then I got to figure out, okay, what assets do I need to create? Because this book is based on Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's curriculum that I'm developing, at least in part. It's also based on another books from Trash Man to the Cash Man by Myron Golden. And then Robert Kiyosaki is the Rich Dad, Poor Dad's author. So I'm asking myself, based on their ideas, I'm developing an understanding of asset creation. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. And a liability is anything that takes money away from you. So the only thing right now as a teacher that I do that puts money in my pocket is go to work. Well, that's a problem because I'm trading my time for money, and your time is way more valuable than your money. In fact, in my classroom the other day, we were discussing, and I would talk with my kids. I'd have them say it too. We were discussing how I could prove to you that money is not near as valuable as time, because if I offered you $1 million and all you had, and then you took it, but then tomorrow you died, would that be a good value for you? Of course not. Okay, exactly. It's kind of like I heard that an economics teacher say one time that if you're in a spaceship and all there's left is one tank and you've got $1 million, would you pay somebody for that one tank of air and for your $1 million? Of course you would. Now, we get confused out here because abundance on Earth of oxygen is so plentiful that to us, it's not worth anything. Well, wait till you get to outer space. Wait till you're at the bottom of the ocean and you need air and it's running out. Okay, you would pay anything because what's the matter? You're going to trade your life for it? No, of course not. So time is your most valuable asset. And because when you have time, you've got to be willing to put in the work to develop your mind, because you're only one good thought away from becoming a millionaire, from becoming a billionaire, whatever, trillionaire, quadrillionaire, whatever you want to throw out there. But the point is, with this question, I'm going to read it one more time. Think about the answer, your answer to this question. If you're not making the kind of money that you want to, it is simply a case of changing the formula via the way you make money. Okay, so what formulas need to change in your life? Then I talk to my kids about that. So I have the kids in my classroom discuss these things. What formulas need to change? Well, apparently, one of the main things you need to do is develop assets. What assets do you have? What things do you have in your life that are making you money? For instance, a simple thing for kids is having a babysitting service. So you babysit at first, sure, but then you hire 3 friends. And now they're babysitting every Friday night. And all your job is to go out there and help get clients for those 3 friends. In fact, you even hire somebody else to do that. So now your job is just to make sure everything's running well. You have a person who, babysitting manager who goes and gets people. You have 3 people who do the work, and you enjoy the profits, and you all share the profits. Okay, so now you have your own business. That is an asset. That business is an asset. It puts money in your pocket every week. What else do you have? And you'd be like, well, I don't know. Well, one of the things you want to do is create a picture. And so I would say this, okay, here's one of the things you have to do is create an analogy or put this phrase in your own words. I'm going to show you a picture here that I created that hopefully makes sense to you. And if not, we're going to discuss it. Watch this. Okay, so this right here is basically the way I rewrote it was pursue the procedures that produce profits. Okay, and then I drew a picture of an asset right here. Asset number 1, cash, 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 cash. Asset number 2, cash, 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 cash. And I thought about this, okay, these are manuals. How to create asset number 1, like this. Now, here are some things that go inside the asset that produce these things. And then here are some things that go inside the asset that produce these things. So an asset converts one thing to cash, or converts these things to cash. And then this asset converts these things to cash. Now, I don't know yet what those things are, but I know that they exist. So what I have to do is, I'm going to read my quote, pursue the procedures that produce profits. And we do this in our classroom. So you have your manuals, how to create asset number 1. So you got to read this manual. You got to know what the procedures are. So then once you have that, then hey, I've developed this asset and I've got these things coming in here, it's happening. Then I wrote down this quote as an example. Cows create cash flow all their lives, then offer the biggest single return on investment at their death. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to kill cows, okay? But my point is, while cows are alive, they produce milk. They produce fertilizer. They produce, and then from milk, you can produce cheese and curds and all sorts of things. Also, cows produce other cows. How cool is that? So you have a cow, most of his life, that cow, or her life, she's producing other cows. You have a bull, you only need 1 bull, and you can have as many cows, I guess, as the bull can handle, and that you can handle. And then you're producing cows that are also converting grass into milk. How amazing is that? Grass, unusable by us, but plentiful on earth. You can take it through the machine of a cow, through an asset of a cow, and convert it into at least milk and fertilizer. Now, I don't know what else cows produce. My mother grew up on a farm, but I know I'm like, okay, at least this right here, a cow is a great asset to have. It puts money in your pocket with a little bit of help and effort and a couple other things. But then on its deathbed, now obviously no one lives forever, but how amazing is it that when you have a business, when you have an asset, you should think about, when I'm done with this asset, how can I maximize its profits? How can it be profitable to the most people? Okay, because remember, money is simply an agreement between you and someone else to benefit as many people as you can. So then what happens is the cow dies, and now you have leather. Now you have meat, you have steak, you have high-end steak, you have low-end steak, you have ground chuck. You have all sorts of other things that cows can produce for you to benefit on and for other people to benefit on, okay? Now, you might not like that, okay? But the truth is, what's better? Just to have the cow die and fall into the ground and then get nothing from it, help no one else? That's foolish. People are going to need to be willing to capitalize on when assets end up terminating. It happens. Okay, so this right here was my discussion that I would do and that I would show to my students an example of one of the questions, okay? And then I'm supposed to read that question, discuss it, discuss the answer, and then be ready to share with other people and find common ground. So my question to you is, what do you think about this? What do you think about my thoughts? Share, please, and I mean this genuinely, because what I want to do after this is look over your comments, look over your videos, and then I'm going to find out where we have common ground, and then we can share those things with each other as well, so that we can move forward in congruence. We can join together and make something big, make something profitable, help more teachers, help more people, help more kids. That's my goal. And then one of the things that we're teaching the kids is how important that is to do. And money's one way you can do that. In fact, money is the best way to measure how many people you're helping. So hopefully, guys, this is a good thing. Hopefully it blesses you. Hopefully you enjoy it. Honestly, share below. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, the ideas that you have in response to these questions and anything else that I said. Thanks so much. Be blessed.